Hey guys, let's see. I am going to record this. Let's see what happens here. Awesome. I don't know if you guys heard that, but now I'm going to go over and catch you guys so I can see your chat. But I want to talk a little bit about not allowing your 3D to beat you up. Don't be a slave to your 3D, because that means you're being a slave to your past. You're not living in the moment. You're not living in the now. You're not present. And if you're present and you know your truth and you know how powerful you actually are, and that doesn't mean, by the way, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll talk a little bit about my perspective of God on this. We'll see. But I don't believe or subscribe to the problems that show up in my 3D, because I've learned for too many years on too many subjects that the one thing that's constant is change, and that things in your reality are not set in stone. And when you fall for the illusion, thinking that everything is final, and you continue to just ruminate in those fears and the worries, and you continue to perpetuate your fears to just, it's like you just continue to recreate from that place of the wound, then that's the only reason why you continue to experience what you don't want. I have exactly 26 minutes to go for this live today, and I'm going to be answering as many questions as I can if we get enough people on. I do have a session coming up, so I will be cutting this abruptly at exactly 11:15. And I'm wondering if my client will be on watching this. If so, say hi. I see a few people are coming on. Please say hi and let me know where you're from. And then I'm going to get into the topic of not being a slave to your 3D. And I understand how easy it is, by the way, to fall into the illusion, because the illusion doesn't mean that what's in your 3D is fake. A lot of times when I listen to some people talk about the law of assumption and this idea or concept of the 3D being an illusion, it trips people up. TM, you're like always number one. Aloha. I love it. 3D being an illusion and lies being an illusion and limiting beliefs and all that being an illusion doesn't mean that what is happening in your 3D reality isn't real. That is taking those words very literally. What is happening in your 3D reality is real, in the sense of, out of the trillions and trillions of infinite possibilities, and with the atoms being, all in their probable position all at once, it is your observance and your constant belief. Basically, it's like you're trusting the things that you don't like, and you're observing the things that you don't like, and you're thinking of them dominantly. And when you do that, your awareness on it will continue to collapse the wave into the particle, which is solid matter, which is then what becomes solidified and real in your 3D reality. But things are changeable. And when you are living under the lie and the illusion, and you are being a slave to your 3D circumstances, basically you have separated yourself and you've fallen under the illusion. You've separated yourself from being in alignment with God, the creator, universe, whatever you want to label. And from my perspective, God is not a separate entity from all of us. We are all God's creation, and God created all of us in God's image. And God gave us in this human form that we have, the way we, whether you want to call it create our experience with, through manifesting, and manifesting isn't a magic trick, and you're not conjuring up demons or some sort of weird occultic stuff. I so do not subscribe to anything related to witchcraft or anything related to any kind of demons or anything. Like, like that stuff is just like it is not in my reality, and I completely reject it. Manifesting is simply you experiencing what you believe in. Okay. And I know a lot of people have a hard time because they're like, but I was with, the person that I love, and then all of this stuff happened, but I don't think I believed that. And from my perspective, the experience is just showing you what you don't, it's basically there's no mystery. When something comes up in your 3D reality, it is showing you, if it's showing you something you don't like and what you don't want, and especially if it's coming from a deep wound from your past, it is going to be very painful. And when it's very painful, it's going to pull you out of your power. It's going to pull you into that 3D. And when you fall for it and you believe it and you completely, totally interact with it, meaning you have completely fallen for the illusion of the lie, the wound, the fear, the worry, the doubt that had to come up. And if it's through the person that you love, these are going to be the deepest and darkest ones. And they suck. There's no other way to say it. They really, really do suck. It hurts to go through it, but that's when you have to be so defiant and so strong and so grounded in God, so grounded in your higher self, so grounded in that divine, pure love that you were made out of, that you are, that is within you, that everything that is good is God. When you can be so grounded in that trust and in that faith and look at whatever it is, the 3D circumstances, no matter what somebody's telling you, no matter what they're saying to you, no matter how real it feels, when you can look at it and say, and by the way, I'm not saying that you verbalize this. If you're experiencing something with somebody in your reality that is bringing up an old core wound, I'm not suggesting that you're rude or anything like that to the person. You realize, okay, you don't want to be a slave, right, to your circumstance, and whatever's happening is a circumstance. You want to very clearly step back from it. Like, I know sometimes in the 3D, if you're caught up in a conversation and you might actually get pulled in for a minute, you might get pulled into your sadness or your wound. Totally normal and natural, totally valid, by the way, and nurture yourself and love yourself through it. Okay. Don't stuff your emotions down. If you need to cry, cry. Last night I cried and I needed to let stuff out. I had to, but I separated my wound of whatever it was that was coming up. I separated it from the person who was on the other end of that. And I was very clear with that. And then I just got back in alignment with my heart, back in alignment with my power, with my purity, with my divine nature, with God, with my higher self, with whatever you want to label it. But again, just to be clear, it's not external. From my perspective, God is not separate from me. I'm always in God's heart. God is always in my heart. I love Jesus Christ. I love, but I'm not Christian and I'm not religious. And I also believe that any man who spews off, no physical human being can tell me or can go against what God tells me. It's that simple. I always and only take my direction from God. So if I'm going to be a slave to anything, I'm going to be a slave to my love. I'm going to be a slave. I'm fine being a slave to love. I'm fine with it. And I don't mean that in a weird kind of don't be a pervert or anything, right? But I'm okay being a slave to love. I'm okay being a slave to that. I'm okay being a slave to honoring my heart, honoring my soul, honoring God. And I'm okay with giving up my free will and just allowing God to take me and falling right into that beautiful channel, that pure stream where I know that I am going to be passing through all sorts of limiting beliefs. I'm going to be passing through going to be going over all sorts of bridges. And through some of the bridges, I might not like what I feel. I might not like what I see. But if I attach and fall for whatever's coming up in the 3D, instead of looking at it and saying, okay, this is the moment that I am here for. This is the moment that I can look my limiting belief in the face and basically say to the limiting belief, not to the person, okay, please, not to the person. The person is sacred, okay? The person is sacred. So separate the limiting belief, the fear, the worry, the doubt from the person. But when I can say to the limiting belief, fuck you, I'm not falling for you anymore. You're not going to steal my joy. You're not going to steal my love for me. You're not going to steal what I am living for. Not going to allow it to happen anymore. Just not going to allow it. My life is way too precious, and my love is way too sacred and way too beautiful and perfect to ever allow a lie from my past to steal my future and to steal my happiness. Not going to happen. Not going to happen ever. So I will get super defiant with it. And yeah, for maybe for a few minutes in the 3D as it's happening, I might cry. I might, speak my point and everything. And then after step back from it and say, okay, this isn't this person. This is not this person. This person is sacred. This person is my messenger. This person is showing me what I need to release and let go of and heal in order to have what I want on the other side of fear. So always choose love and do not choose fear, and do not be a slave to your 3D circumstances. I see how, it can happen very easily. And like even with some of my clients, I work with my clients, and after months and months of months, I'm going to be coming on with a success story. I've actually recently reached out to a couple clients. This is what happens. I have like my sessions with my clients. They're, we're excited. They're telling me their success story. I'm like, oh, awesome. Can I share it? They're like, yes, share it. And then I don't, because either I get way too busy, or like I very like, before I do a video, I need to be like super clear. And sometimes I just don't get to that place. And then too much time passes by, and then I start to go into like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe if I put up success stories, people who aren't having movement might get sad. It might discourage them, and so it's like this constant thing. And that's it's all my own limiting belief. And I own that and I get it. But anyway, so where I was going with that is, as an example, one of my clients, she's amazing. All of my clients are, after 18 months, she most recently, like, it was just like, boom, 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 boom. First, everything started to come in, and it was rocky, because oftentimes it is. And I'm sorry, but that's just true. It doesn't always happen that your SP comes in on the white horse. Okay. Or, on bended knee. Like there's most likely going to be some residuals that you're going to have to allow to come up and let go of. But anyway, so after 18 months, her person is coming back in. And when she gets the residuals of the old story, those pains, those wounds, those fears, those worries, those doubts, she is handling it. She's handling it and by the way, all of my clients are doing incredibly well. Sometimes we all get caught up. Okay. We can get caught up in the illusion, but I just wanted to bring this up, that she just continually says like, no, like, this is not my person. This is not my person. And she's just completely grounded in trust. But anyway, I'll be having her success story. She'll be probably emailing me. She may have already, I'm not sure. I've sent out 2 emails this morning. Oh, okay. So one of them actually replied. One of them said that they will do that. So I'll be coming on with it. Hopefully I can do it without getting in my own way. Anyway, And so for those of you who, hopefully it provides encouragement for you guys that when we manifest whatever it is that we're manifesting, whether it's, union with the person that we love, or abundance in the area of health or money, whatever it is, sometimes, again, while you start to break through and you're basically in the middle now of the unfolding, it's very important that you continue to persist in your end and you don't get sucked both into the 3D and become the slave for your 3D. Number one. Number two, or even if you stay in, okay, like you stay remembering, sometimes what happens is people start to nitpick, overanalyze, and try to control what's already been solidified. That is another form of falling for the 3D, because if you're affirming from a place of not being in that harmonious union or not having the finances that you deserve or whatever, it's sneaky, but you're still affirming from not having. So just be careful about that. Okay. You really want to, there's a reason why you always want to go to the end, and trust in the end. It doesn't mean that you can't revise along the way, of course, and we all manifest differently, but you want to be as present as you possibly can be. Basically, you want to be as conscious and as present in your now moment as you can be. I'm going to also tell a quick story about just the fear of abandonment and how this came up with me recently with my mom. And I know my mom will watch this, and Mommy, I'm sorry if I kind of trigger you a little bit and if this makes you sad, but I'm just going to tell this really quick story because this is just how sneaky the wounds are from childhood. Me and my mom, we're just like best friends now. And there was a time in our lives where, even the topic of manifestation was kind of becoming a wedge between us because there was kind of a lack of understanding. And a lot of that is on me, obviously, because it's my reality. And this is how I was, from my perspective, this is how I was seeing things. So I was experiencing them. Now we're ridiculously close. And, I've told in a few videos, she's 78 years old and she's like, it's just hilarious, how completely different and how amazing our relationship is now. But anyway, I want to get to a few questions. So I'm going to say this really fast. A couple months back, I was running some errands. We were talking on the phone, and she was at a casino because she's manifesting, and she's talking about, honey, I'm going to manifest. I'm going to go manifest. I'm going to go manifest money. She never went to casinos before. Now she loves going to the casino, and she's constantly winning a ton of money. Okay. So, and I'm proud of myself because I just want to see her so happy and strong and healthy and having fun in her life. So she, she said, basically I could meet her there, which I was like, yeah, okay, awesome. So I came to my house, I fed the dogs. And then when I was driving on the way to the casino, I started thinking of how exciting and how much fun this is. And then I started to get incredibly sad. And I started to feel this feeling. And this is what's good about when you're conscious of when you're about to become dysregulated in a wound. Okay, this is what consciousness is all about. I felt this sadness rise in me. And I felt this fear that I was very close to calling her and saying, Mom, actually, I can't make it. And the reason why, and I didn't do it, the reason why was it was the sudden fear of, if I allow myself to feel safe in having this awesome, happy relationship. Now, mind you, this is what even happens to us, even when we're right. I had this sudden fear come up, what happens, God forbid, if something happens? And, the worst case scenario, right? And I felt the sudden fear of losing my mom. And it made me want to shut down. It made me want to just shut down and go home and just I wanted to just basically push away. I tend to, and I didn't. This is what's so great. I didn't. I went and I had fun and I welcomed the feeling of being able to feel safe and be able to have relationships without worrying about losing or without worrying about loss. But I am somebody who will go into fight, flight, and freeze. I used to more than I do now. I really don't anymore. I caught it and I was aware of it. But I used to be somebody who would, if I knew, how can I put this? If I kind of had a sense of, if I say or do these things, this will push the person away. That's kind of what I would do. That's what I would do to feel safe. And that was a form of running. That was a form of me running. So anyway, I don't do that anymore. I'm very conscious and aware of my feelings, my thoughts, my fears, my worries, my doubts, my wounds when they come up. Now, you don't have to be completely healed to manifest. That is not the truth. You can separate all of your wounds, all of your fears, all of these limiting beliefs. You don't have to be fully healed to be loved. A lot of times, our limiting beliefs are telling us that you have to be perfect. You have to be perfect to be loved. That is the old wound. But you can affirm, I am loved. So if you caught me, awesome. You can affirm, I am loved and I am perfect exactly how I am. I do not have to be fully healed to have the love of my life love me. I can be completely loved, adored, cherished in all of my imperfections. And my love adores me so much that when I am in pain and when I am insecure, my love loves me and my love consoles me. And it's safe for me to be that vulnerable with somebody because I am seen and I am fully loved. That's the kind of affirmative stuff you want to say. You don't have to be completely healed. That's a lie. But healing can be good for you. It can be cathartic. It can be, if you constantly have the same wound coming up, with your specific person, for example, and it just doesn't let you go, in those cases, if you're not able to progress forward, then in those cases, yeah, you have to kind of do some healing around it, but the healing can happen in 2 hours. The healing doesn't have to take long. Sometimes it does take longer. It's okay. All right, so that's all I have to say. Now I have, let's see, how much time do I have left? Honey bunnies, how much time? I have 5 minutes. Okay. So I love you guys. Let's see what we have, if we have any questions. Let me say hi to everybody really quick. TM, I already said hi. Naomi, hello from Toronto. Soph, yes, I'm so happy you caught my live. Anita, hi from India. Hey. Tara, good morning from Pennsylvania. Hey. Elim, good morning from Chicago. Love your teaching style. It's made me remember to be more loving on a daily basis. Good. G, good morning. Good morning, G. Belikta, I'm sorry. I know I have a session coming up. Italian, greetings from Berlin. Greetings. Bella Lolita, perfect timing for message. Thank you. You're welcome. Peter, hello, Kim with a heart. Hey, Peter, love back to you. Angela, the artist. Wow. Whatever I said that produced that wow, I'm glad. I'm happy that it helps. Bella Lolita, I get so much out of your message, Kim. This is exactly what I needed to hear today. You are a gift. Thank you. You are a gift as well. Thank you. Angela, the artist, me and my SP just had a falling out yesterday. And what you're saying is exactly how I was feeling. Thank you for saying that they are sacred. It's not them. Yes, correct. It is not them. It doesn't mean that you become a doormat in your 3D reality. It doesn't mean that you don't take somebody's crap. Okay. You don't. It just depends. Everybody's in such different scenarios. Okay. But you just don't have to argue. You can argue, and it's okay if you do. It's not a big deal. But it's more the internal emotional reaction after the fact that matters. It's how long do you stay in the dominant thought of this, which has happened, is real. That's the key. That's the key. Okay. You can fall for the 3D. You can cry your eyes out in the moment when you're in it. When you are in the throes of the argument, even with the person, you can still step back after it and know that it's okay, that this was probably just a bridge. This is just literally another bridge. This is just bringing us even deeper, even closer. This is helping us become more aware of our own triggers. This is helping us see each other's true nature. This is helping us see ourselves becoming stronger, becoming more empowered, becoming more love by us seeing that this problem is not our person, okay? That the problem is the wound. So don't be afraid, Angela. And I love what you just said, but also nobody, it doesn't mean that you're in the 3D. You're not in the 3D. Like, I feel very grateful that with the person that I love, I've never had to deal with any kind of abusive situation. I have dealt with abusive situations in my past with exes, and but I feel very fortunate that that's not the case. Anybody who's out there that is dealing with abusive stuff, you don't stay for abuse, okay? You don't, okay? So anyway, you're not a doormat and all that great stuff. So let me keep going because now I have 3 minutes. TMO, I hate that I have to cut this off. You know, I've got to cut this off in like 3 minutes. So I hope that the message that I brought to you guys today, maybe it was just for, it may just be for, was it Angela and Bella Lolita? So hopefully you guys get something out of it. I might push this. Oh boy, I have 2 minutes. How do you remain present in the now and persist in the end, especially when 3D is showing things that you don't want and you're living paycheck to paycheck? Yep, I've been there before. Before I hang up, guys, and end this, please give the video a thumbs up because it helps YouTube share my channel. And if you're looking for coaching, the link is in the description box below. I'm also planning right now the collective coaching. I'm planning for, hold on, I have it in my schedule. I haven't released it yet. If you guys want to be part of the collective coaching, it'll be $59 for only 10 people. And this will be on June 15th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have it set in my schedule for 2 hours, but there will be some breaks in between. So it will probably go to about, my guess is like 1:15, 1:30. It could easily go into a little bit more too, because if I really get into it and things are flowing, I'm not just going to end it. So that will be the collective coaching. If you're interested, please email me at kim@coreunion.com to let me know, and I will send the link to you so you can pay for it. And I hope to do at least maybe 4 to 6 of the collective coaching, if, you know, depending, monthly if I can, but I can't let it get in the way of my regular clients. I have a lot of clients that are in in packages, and I always have to make sure that I'm available for them. Let's see. So anyway, I'm going to read this a little bit. Back to Angela with when you're living paycheck to paycheck. So I was in a situation like that, and I ended up making a business that really, again, I should not have been successful at it. It's that simple, but I let God handle everything. I handed everything over to God. I surrendered, knowing that this is God's business. I'm just the channel that God is working through. That's all I am. And so when you have that, there's my alarm. When you have that kind of knowledge and knowing, it doesn't matter what shows up in your 3D. You're going to step back in your faith and your trust that I am more. This is for you, Angela, and anyone else out there. Okay. And when it comes to love, finances, health, all of that stuff, I am more than worthy, and I am more than good enough to have all of the money that I know that I deserve. I know that what I see in front of me is just part of my old story, and I don't subscribe to it anymore. It's just the illusion. It's just the lie. I love that every single day I feel more and more empowered. Every single day and every single way, I see how God is working through me. I trust that God is working through me, and I trust that God wants to give me all of the abundance that God wants me to have. God is my provider, and I completely surrender and trust in my provider. And I know that in order to allow God to provide, I have to step back and allow God to provide. And I do that through accepting that I am more than worthy and more than good enough of having all that I want. When it comes to manifesting again is not a magic trick. It's not voodoo. It's not witchcraft. It's not some weird occultist stuff. It's not you saying, I don't need God. No, it's the opposite. It is the opposite. It is saying, I know that in this physical body that I am inhabiting. Is that right? Yes, I believe it is. I know that I don't have control. I know that I don't have the ability to change this. My physical being is the vehicle, But the divine light, the divine, beautiful, pure energy that I actually am, the true me, okay, my higher self does have, with the power of God, the ability to create by selecting anything and everything that I want. And through love, pure unconditional love, gratitude, appreciation, and remaining in the state of having whatever it is that I want, because what I want is what God wants for me when it's coming from a pure place. I feel like I'm preaching, but it's feeling so good right now. When I trust in that, and when I accept it and I allow it, and I don't trust, accept, or allow the 3D bullshit to get the best of me, then I know that I am receiving currently, and I know that it's just a matter of time, and I'm going to allow God to handle all of the details. I don't have to. I can just surrender. I can just be in love. Just be and stay in love. Trust, surrender. That's how you bring manifest money. That's how you bring manifest health. That's how you bring manifest love. It's staying in constant surrender and trust in what is in the core of you, and constantly not staying in surrender and trust to your lie, not being the slave to the lie, to the 3D illusion. Okay. I hope that helped, Angela. Okay. Let's see, how much time do I have? I'm going over, but it's okay. I'm going to give myself a few more minutes. I don't know why, but I actually kind of like it when I press things like this. I like it. I don't know why. It charges me up a little bit. So, and I manifested a business with no reason to succeed through this surrender. Everything that I talk about on my channel. I had the business it was open from 2007 to 2022. I won awards every year consecutively from a certain point on. I manifested always the best locations. I manifested a cult-like following. I manifested a 6-figure income for myself. I manifested a steady, I sold millions and millions of dollars worth of products. And I did this through everything that I teach. And it was hard. And there were a lot of points where it got scary. And there were a lot of ups and downs. But one of the points of becoming a master manifester is that you're still going to have challenges. I think one of the problems with some of these YouTube channels is that I think it paints a picture that like when you learn how to manifest, that suddenly your life is going to become perfect, because like you have YouTubers saying, all you have to do is say, isn't my life wonderful? Isn't my life perfect? And then you believe that like you're going to be going through life with 0 challenges. That's a bit of a disservice to you. What it means is that even when you go through challenges, your life can become heaven, meaning that instead of living a life where you're up and down like this, and it's painful and it's good, and then it's really bad, and then it's good, and it's really bad, you're still going to have challenges, and you're just going to flow through it like this. You're still going to have moments that you want to give in almost, that you're afraid, that you're scared, that you're seeing stuff come up in your reality that sucks. You're still going to have challenges. Look at the most wealthy people in the world. And I'm talking about people who are like really good people, like people who are philanthropists, people who do like amazing things with their money, people who give and change the world with their money. Okay. I'm talking about those kinds of people who have like massive wealth and they help the world massively. Okay. When you think about those people and they are very aware and conscious that they are master manifestors and they intentionally have created this kind of wealth, they still have challenges. They still have major things sometimes that happens in their reality. They still have failures. They still have problems. But the difference is that you can have what's perceived as a failure or a problem in your 3D. And when you don't succumb to it, then you're free from it. Like, in other words, you're still going to have like the same thing that can happen to me today can happen to me in my 3D. And I can be like, really annoyed by it and frustrated by it, but be like, oh, you know what? F this. Like, this is so beneath me. It's not even worthy of my time and energy. What do I want? I want this. And then what I want will shift and change. And then I'll see and experience what I want. Versus if I experienced the exact same thing before I became aware and enlightened and awakened to my power, before I became free. And when I was still under this illusion, the chains of all of this, being the slave to my 3D, where I may have taken the exact same situation and I could have been like crying and distraught and then lost whatever it was that I was trying to manifest because I fell for the illusion. In other words, you'll just be able to handle everything in life. You will become limitless, but becoming limitless doesn't necessarily mean that you go through life and that you're not going to have challenges. It's just that your challenges don't defeat you. You defeat them. Okay. That is becoming powerful. I mean, what master manifester can anybody say that I mean, I can think of so many people off the top of my head right now that are in the public eye that are major manifestors that I would much rather listen to them because clearly they know what they're doing, who have problems. Okay. So in other words, you're still going to have problems in the 3D. It's not a big deal. Don't let your problems get to you. That's the whole point of circumstances don't matter. They can matter and they will matter to the degree that you allow them to matter. Remember, you assign the meaning to everything. You assign the meaning to everything. So hopefully that kind of helps. I'm just going to say hi to a few more people. I'm really pushing it here. If my client is watching, she's probably like, come on, Kim, like, let's go. Ray Light, love you, Kim. I love you too. Honeybee, what is your thought about detaching? I detach every day, multiple times a day. It's extremely important. You detach from the lie. You detach from the illusion. You detach from the 3D. You don't allow your 3D to control you. That is detaching. When you detach, you're detaching from the lie that says you can't have whatever it is. That's detaching. But you can continue to desire and love whatever it is that you desire. But you detach the wound from the desire. Detach the lie from the desire. Detach the lie from not feeling worthy or good enough of not being able to have money. Detach the lie that money is hard to get and that I have to work really hard and kill myself to have money. That's a lie. Detach that from abundance. Okay. As an example, Bella Lolita, thank you. I absolutely did good. All right. Let's see what else I have. Kat is laughing. Hey, Kat, did you get my email? Check your email. Okay. Surrey, I just announced I'm going to try the collective group coaching. Guys, new people that just came up, please thumbs up. It helps YouTube share my content. It helps me get found. It helps me grow. I appreciate it. Surrey, I just put up the collective conscious coaching for June 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be $59 each. I only have space available for 10 people. So feel free to email me at kim@coreunion.com if you want to be in on that, and I'll send you the link so you can pay for it, and then we'll all just get together. Okay. I love you guys so much. I am going to, Kat just wrote Oprah. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I love you guys. Really, I do. I need to go because I'm going to go get on with my clients. Let's see. I'm still safe. I still have a few minutes, but I hope I help somebody. Awesome, sir. You're excited. I'm excited too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I love you guys. Please do not be a slave to the lie. Do not be a slave to your 3D. Just break yourself free from the illusion of all of the lies. Okay. Be free like a free bird. Be free like a free bird. Okay. I love you. That's all I really had to say. And I'm going to end this now. And I don't know what it is when I end this, why it always cuts me off, but I'm going to give myself an awkward like minute of delay, just so you can at least hear me say bye. Okay. I love you. Have a good one and keep manifesting and keep trusting and stay in love. Okay. I love you guys so much.